It was pre-planned, and I'm watching y'all. I'm watching all of y'all.
Okay.
Every last one of Taylor's friends. Hey.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Thaleisha. And welcome to the Binge Box, where we share our thoughts on TV shows, friendships, relationships, and everything in between.
Join us as we binge on all the good stuff life has to offer. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell button. We're a new channel, and we're on our way to 50 subscribers. If you're one of our return viewers, we appreciate all the love, and we appreciate all the support. Hit that like button. On today's episode, we're going to be reviewing Love is Blind, Season 7, Episode 9. Mm-hmm. Let's hop right in.
Episode 9 starts off with Taylor saying that she's off from work. She's planning out a date to go spearfishing with Garrett. And they start arguing about Garrett's haircut. They say that's their first argument. It's just, again, so shocking to me that they don't argue. Could be a potential issue in the future. Who knows?
I just think they have really good communication. So if you have good communication, nothing really has to be an argument. It could be a debate because they probably debate a lot, but nothing's really a blown up
But argument. I don't even feel like they debate. It just seems like...
Oh, I mean, you don't see everything. I think they do.
Maybe.
They're really smart. I feel like smart people debate a lot.
Fair enough. We go into Ashley. She said she couldn't ask for a better stepchild than Tyler's dog. And the irony wins.
She got a few of them stepchildren out there. She married that man.
Immediately, Tyler's ears perked up. And he's like, I want a lot of kids. I need like 7 kids. And she like, whoa, relax. He's trying to put a bun in the oven today. Like, immediately. And then they just kind of start debating on how many kids they actually want. Again, the irony.
Tyler is sick. I'm not gonna lie. The fact is, you could talk about, I want to have 4 kids. Knowing you got 3 in the crib is crazy, bro. That's diabolical. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to call him Tyler anymore. I don't know what I need to call him, but
why not?
Because I feel bad. When I was watching it, I was just like, "Oh, wait, is that me?"
Next we have Nick and Hannah arguing once again about boiling pasta. Nick, I don't know what's going on with him, but he doesn't know how to boil pasta at all. He doesn't know how to boil water. Let's start there. He thought the pasta was in the fridge.
She used the leftovers, that's why.
He wanted to assist her, but he was mad that she wanted him to do pasta, but you can't do pasta. It's so confusing to me. But okay. Again, showing why she thinks this man is a child. So they're preparing for her brother to come over, and he asked her basically like, do you have any advice for dealing with your brother? What should I do? And she's just like, no advice. I'm going to let him eat you alive. I want you to be yourself, but not really be yourself. And he kind of had a little smirk on his face where he's like, she didn't have to say that. But he didn't press her about it. He didn't say anything.
Because Hannah's a monster. Point blank period. A monster.
Monster is crazy.
A monster.
Hannah's brother comes in and they start talking. He's asking questions. They start sharing their own experiences with Hannah. He agrees. Hannah is a bitch sometimes. Like, that's just who she's always been. That's what we're accustomed to. I don't know if she's going to change because that's just her character.
That's enabling to its finest. I hate to hear stuff like that. When people are just like, that's how they are, deal with it. If it's something negative, let them know. Don't be like, yeah, it's something that's just got to deal with it.
I don't think it was deal with it. It was more so like, I've just been dealing with it personally for so long. But not that Nick should deal with it.
I don't like it. She's a monster.
Stop calling that girl a monster.
That girl is a monster.
Oh my gosh. So once again, they start arguing about household duties. Nick says...
And then I woke up to all the laundry in the bed for me to pull it from Nick.
That's what happens when you're unemployed, right? Oh, I can't be me too. It's just you.
You're just upset because I make more money than you, Nick.
And I'm so confused by that statement because I'm like, how does an unemployed person
make more
money than the employed person?
That was Hannah just trying to get her lick back because she felt the type of way. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because you talk mad shit all day long. Mm-hmm. And the moment Nick say one little thing, your feelings is hurt. Yep. That's the definition of a monster.
Pull up in that monster, a real gangster. Then they start just arguing about their jokes, whether their jokes is funny or not. What kind of jokes are jokes? What jokes are jokes? And I don't know why this is even an argument because they both, like, if we're gonna talk shit, like, just talk shit. It is what it is. If you don't want the person to talk shit, you don't talk shit. That's how I see it. You don't want the treatment, don't treat the person that way. But anyway, Hannah steps out. She leaves her brother to talk with Nick. And the brother says, like, yeah, Hannah's mean sometimes. And it don't be a joke. It's not funny. She's just mean. They're kind of having a little heart-to-heart. And basically on the same page, like, not knowing how to handle her.
They both agree that she's a monster. It's crazy. And he also just says, like, I could take a lot of stuff, but she be dragging it. Like,
yeah.
It's a time and place, and it's only so much you could do to belittle somebody to the point where they're going to reach their breaking point. And she don't know when to stop.
She does. She doesn't know her limits.
Yeah, and then Nick says whenever he throws just a little lick back, she be in her bag.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, yo, don't be throwing fire at me all day long. And then when I throw a little flame at you, you ready to die.
Right.
Come on, Hannah.
So she comes back and the brother shifts the conversation to the good. He's like, just tell me some things you love about each other. And then they start sharing all the good things they like and love about each other. So they ended off kind of good, I guess. Next up, we have Garrett and Taylor. They're on their date. They kind of start talking about like Monica and Steven's situation. And Taylor says she wants Monica to have her own Garrett. She deserves her own Garrett.
That was kind of weird.
Very weird. I don't know why she said that.
I get the logic behind it. It was just like she wants her friend to have a good man like you. It's one of those, like, you hear it all the time. I feel like I hear it from women where, like, if I'm dating a new girl and I'm a good guy and she brings around her friends, they're like, do you have any other friends? Do you have any brothers? Because just
I don't like that either.
But it happens. It's common.
Does happen.
Like, I've heard it so many times in my life
but
as a guy.
It's not a good thing. On the other end.
I'm just saying, I just hear it all the time where it's just like, you have any brothers? Because you're so nice. So I'm just like, I think it was one of those where it's just like, you need a Garrett because Garrett's nice.
And I feel like the sentiment stands on both regards that, like, because one is one doesn't mean one is all. Like,
for sure.
You just never know. And she also don't know Garrett. She don't know him long enough to know if he really is a good guy. He seems like a good guy, but we haven't known him long enough. But anyway, she starts thanking him for being willing to move. He tells her, like, my parents are concerned, but he's a little bit apprehensive because he doesn't want her to take it personally. Like, all the conversations his parents are having with him on the side, they're not really on board about him, like, just picking up, moving his entire life and leaving his family for a woman that none of them really know. She tells him she doesn't take it personally. She wants him to have those conversations with his family. And Garrett says, like, I just need to let my parents know that this is real. Like, we have to show them, like, what we're doing here and now is legitimate. And eventually they'll hop on board.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with his family. His family's absolutely right. Mm-hmm. Like, I couldn't imagine if one of my siblings came to me like, yo, I'm about to just dip today and go to the other side of the world because of this dude I just met. So I definitely get it. But like I said, shout out to Taylor. I always speak highly on Taylor. The way she responds and handles situations like this, she's like, it's okay. Like, she's
very mature. And
and I feel like Garrett matches it as well.
Open-minded.
Like, yeah, for sure. They're both like the most mature couple. They're the mom and dad. Mm-hmm. They're the real mom and dad. I don't know why I was even thinking of Tyler and Ashley was going to be mom and dad. Boy, was I wrong.
Because they're older. I think that's what it is.
It was because
they were like the first match.
Yeah, they seem nice, but Taylor, you're my new mom. Garrett, you're my father.
That sounded so disgusting.
I was gonna say DADDY, but that sounded kind of crazy. So he's my father.
Heard you. Taylor says she's excited for her dad to meet Garrett, even though he doesn't want to be on camera. Garrett starts asking her, like, what would she do if her dad says no? And she's like, I would be questioning things. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be walking down that aisle if my parents aren't on board. And of course, Garrett is like sad about that. He's apprehensive because he's like, obviously he wants the parents' approval, but it shouldn't matter. And the fact that it matters to her makes him question things now, because it's like, if they do say no, is she really going to say no? Are they just not going to be together? What's going to happen? He says, like, if my parents were to say no, I'm still going to do what I want because I really don't need my parents' approval. And I'm assuming, Taylor's response is throwing him off a little bit.
Yeah. I get both sides. Like, Garrett's just like, yo, I want to be with you. It don't matter what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor's more like, I need my family to approve. And neither of them are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor's close with her family. Also, like, I feel like a lot of times being a daughter, you do want that approval from your father. So it makes sense. As a guy, sometimes I'm just like, yo, I'm going to do what I do anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So I get both sides.
I get both sides, but at the same time, I feel like in an experiment like this where time is so limited, you can't really go by your parents. You made the decision to go on the show in the first place and go through the experiment. You can't base your decisions on your family solely because they don't have enough encounters with this person as you do. Like, you've been around them long enough, not that long, but long enough to have a better understanding of who they are and, situate the situation better based on your own understanding and your own experiences with them. Your family's not going to have that. It's very limited time. They'll probably get to meet them maybe a few hours in this whole experiment, but,
I mean, every season you always hear this same sentiment if my parents say no. And the parents always say yes because I feel like it boils down to if your parents generally see you happy, they're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, if Garrett shows up when he meets her family and it's just continuing to be how they normally are, which great communication, they seem happy together, very lovey, the parents going to be like, nah, that's a good dude. So, he got nothing to worry about. But I do get why he's worried.
Yeah. Next up, we have Tim and Alex. Tim is showing Alex his man cave. It's pretty neat. As expected, everything has its own place in its own corner. Everything's clean, spick, and span. He has matching furniture with his dogs. He has matching portraits, royalty portraits with his dog as well.
The king and the prince of the household. Prince Roderick.
You know what?
It's Prince Roderick.
Definitely giving museum vibes.
It's a little weird, but that's his thing.
Yeah. I don't got much to say about his crib. His crib was really neat. It was like an army man kind of crib where everything was spick and span. You could just kind of tell how
he operates.
Yeah, he's very particular. I don't know if that works well with Alex, who seems more like a loose cannon. But like Tim is very particular about his belongings. But it was a nice crib, though. I will say that.
Yeah,
his crib
it was
really
really
nice.
put together. Yeah. And not just like in the typical, like, they're calling it a man cave, but like most man caves don't really have much. It's just like a bed, a couch, a TV, fridge.
No, his house.
Like,
his house is a home. He can have a family in that house. He can have a family there soon if he wanted to.
Right, and that's actually what he says. Like, he wants this to be the start of his family, so it's prepared for that. Next up, we have Marissa and Ram. They're about to meet her family. She tells him, like, listen, my mom is a tough cookie. She plays both roles because daddy wasn't there. So just expect the unexpected. And as soon as they come in, mom is like, y'all look like siblings. And then she talks about his style. Like, she's not feeling that shit at all. Like, damn, mama.
Give me anything about his looks. No, well, that's what it's supposed to be. He just can't talk about his fashion, which I have to say is kind of off. Is it off? Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I'm not feeling it. The whole 80s breakdancing, like little tail thing.
Eldebarge.
And the Jerry curl look from the 80s. Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
My mom is doing too much over it. I don't like stuff like that. Don't come in and say you're not liking like, you don't know nothing about me. Like, not liking his style. Like, keep that to yourself. That's one of those thoughts you can have in your head. Don't open your mouth and say that
I don't think she knows how to not
that's
say what she's thinking.
Terrible.
That's the thing. Through this whole entire conversation, I'm like, she lets all her thoughts come out.
That's terrible and disgusting.
Yeah. But I do agree. They do look like siblings. I said this from the beginning, from the time they met each other. Like, they do look like brother and sister. He actually looks like her brother.
I will say he looks like her brother. I don't see Marissa and Ram looking alike. But we'll argue that till the cows come home. So.
Sure. They start talking and he starts mentioning all the things he likes about Marissa. Her mom brings a cute little handmade photo album and they kind of just start reminiscing, going through the past, things that they've dealt with growing up and all her experiences. She also mentions that when Marissa was growing up, she's always talked about staying at home and taking care of her babies. And she asked Ram, like, how do you plan to navigate that? Like, what is your goal for that? If she's going to be at home taking care of the babies, what are you going to be doing to take care of them?
That was weird to me. Because in the pods, Marissa, like, explicitly stated she don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. So
she wants her husband to be a stay-at-home husband.
Either Marissa don't really know herself too well, or she's just, like, unsure of what she wants to do. Her mom doesn't know her. And I honestly feel like her mom is actually right, and I feel like Marissa is trying to figure herself out.
Yeah.
I feel like Marissa is still trying to change herself from this anti-military, anti-patriarchy like mindset. So I feel like that's why she's saying a lot of these things. Mm-hmm. But I think she might want to be a stay-at-home mom, honestly. Because it's probably something she spoke about for a minute with her mom. Maybe. And that's why her mom brought it up.
Or her mom don't know her like that either. Who knows?
Could be either or.
Could be both. Mom, obviously, as that conversation continues, she starts talking about, like, not being reliant on her, Marissa, knowing that, you know, she has all these accolades behind her. She's well established. She's getting her law degree and she's going to be making money. How does Ram feel about a prenup? Like, right off the bat, I don't want you using my daughter for anything. You need to be having your own money. And if you don't have your own money, you're not taking hers. And he's just like, yeah, like, I really don't mind that. We can do that. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, Ram is just like, yo, I'm here for love. I'm not really here for her bread. So if we do a prenup, that's fine with me.
Mm-hmm. Her mom starts talking about, like, not living with her. Marissa says that her mom thinks she's mean. And her mom's like, yeah, she's a bitch. And I was just like, damn, Mom, shut your mouth sometimes. But clearly she doesn't know what that means. Ram says he acknowledges she's a little controlling. She has her ways. But he understands the circumstances. He understands how she is and her history of being in charge. That's been her role for many years. And he doesn't expect her to act any differently. Eventually, the conversation comes to them talking about his previous marriage when he was 25. He says that ultimately it ended because they have different religious ideologies. They didn't align, and that's ultimately what created their separation. But he feels like the marriage definitely helps with giving him experience for marriage, obviously.
Yeah, Ram just said he'd been on this road one time. He married somebody before, so he know how to do this thing now. Mm-hmm. I ain't too sure about that because you real avoidant and you kind of let Marissa kind of say whatever and do whatever. And I'm not sure if you're really okay with that or you're just more so like, I'm going to just let her do her because that's what she want to do. Because he speaks about her being controlling, how he's okay with that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if he's really okay with it or he's just like, this is what she likes to do and I'm just going to let her
do her thing.
Yeah. And that's two different things. Letting somebody do their thing and actually being okay with it is two different things. Mm-hmm. So I just want Rand to be real with himself and address if he really is okay with a lot of things that go on. Mm-hmm. Because this is marriage. You got all this experience. Don't fuck it up this time.
Mom continues the conversation. She said her main focus and concern is that her children aren't being used. She says she doesn't think marriage is forever. It's temporary. And continues with the prenup conversation. She says Marissa has been effed over plenty of times in the past by her dad and also by her stepdad. I don't know why those were the first two things because I'm like, what about the boyfriends that y'all didn't like? But hey, the dad and the stepdad, I felt like that was more personal. And Ram says he's fine with it. Obviously, he's not interested in anything that she has. And Sis is like, you know what? I like you. You're better than most of her exes. We're on board with you. And Mom was like, I don't know nothing about that. But listen, if you mess with her, I'm going to cut your balls off.
Her mom is just projecting, like, big time. Just big time projecting. Like, she's been hurt in the past. And she just feels like, man, ain't shit.
Yeah.
And that's weird to come from my mom. Like, I get it. Like, we're all human beings. But if your mom is coming with so much pessimism towards people that you want to be with, I ain't introducing people to my mom. She gonna scare men away. Because I wouldn't blame Ram if she's like, I don't want to deal with this. Her mom is wilding, and I don't know if her daughter's gonna be the same way. So I feel like Marissa needs to put a leash on her mom.
Put a leash on her?
Figuratively, not literally, but like, you gotta tell her to chill out. Like, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot.
I feel like they all are just So just looking at how the kids were responding to her, they're all just so accustomed to how she is that they just let her do her thing. And like they talk crap about her in the group chat, but they don't worry about talking to her because they know it's always going to go left.
I hate that.
Yeah. Next up, we have Nick meeting Hannah's parents. Immediately, they start talking about football and kind of start bonding on that. Her parents say that, you know, this is a time for them to be getting acclimated with each other. And they say that, you know, after all these years, we're still getting to know each other. And that's something you should be understanding of. Like, as you grow, as you continue in a relationship, you're always going to be learning each other and figuring out new things about each other. Hannah says Nick eventually grew on her, which I'm like, what do you mean by that? But hey, the conversation continues. It's pretty casual. And Hannah's just like, aren't you guys going to grill this man? Like, why are we just having casual conversation? Like, this is a Sunday afternoon. And they're like, we don't feel the need to do that. Like, it's not a necessity here, babe.
Her family is pretty chill. Her family kind of just like, yo, Hannah, if you want to marry this dude, go do your thing. I don't know if that's a lack of love, lack of caring, or just Hannah's very independent, as you can see. So it might just be like, yo, you wouldn't make any dumb decisions. So they just trust her judgment. My family just seems very, very chill. Like,
but I feel like Hannah is so anxious and so like detail oriented and like over analyzing because of how calm her parents are. And it's sometimes where you're like, I need X, Y, and Z, and I see that the people who are in charge of me aren't doing what they should be doing, so now I gotta take the reins, and she kind of just overly takes the reins.
So that's why
now she just continues to do that. Like, basically.
She acts like a parent.
Like, she has to parent herself, yeah.
Her parents wasn't parents, so now she's a parent.
Right. That's what it gives. So yeah, the conversation continues. Nick is like, you know, my whole idea of a relationship is where we're both teammates. My partner is my teammate, and we show up for each other and stay in each other's corners and do what we need to do to show up for each other. And that was really sweet. Like, it goes back obviously to his athleticism, but it's always a great analogy to hear, like, yeah, we're working on this together. But I don't think Hannah's on that same page.
Nope, she's a mom. He's a child.
She tells Nick to go get the hat. We're still trying to figure out where this hat is. Don't know.
It was a code. It was a code for she wants to talk to her parents by herself.
Definitely seemed like a code word. She starts talking to the parents. They give her sound advice, and their basic advice is just like, don't nitpick. Like, that's all you have to do is just don't nitpick. Certain things aren't important. And I do think they're right in that regard. Like, everything is not something to argue about. And they realize, like, Anna seems really stressed, but Nick is pretty calm. So she just needs to take a chill pill, according to her parents.
Yeah, she does. They think she's a monster on the low, too.
Basically. We go into Tim and Alex once again. They're at Alex's crib now, and it is a complete and utter mess.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So when I was packing to leave, trying to figure out what I was going to wear.
She says she's a clothes hoarder and she never got to clean up before she left. She was trying to pack up everything and it just ended up being a tornado.
That's terrible. We got to do better as people in general. If you're going on TV, clean up your crib. Like, I'm a big believer in if I got somebody, especially first impressions. Mm-hmm. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if your room was messy and somebody comes all the time, you don't gotta clean up as much. Mm-hmm. The first time somebody's touching down in your crib, you need to clean your crib up. The last time I had somebody over, I did a deep clean and rearranged everything. Because it's just like, that first impression means everything. Mm-hmm. So for you to leave your crib like that, knowing you're gonna bring somebody over and bring Netflix. That's the thing. It's not even like it was just Tim. She's bringing Netflix. Now your dirty ass crib is gonna be on my TV for the rest of my life. So Alex, if she come out her face to anybody in the future, I'm gonna be like, yo, season 7, episode 9.
Crazy.
40 minutes, 22 seconds. Dirty ass crib.
Apparently she said she's never shown anyone her mess, which is crazy because I'm like, now it's on national.
But now you're gonna show me. Me in my bedroom.
Tim says it's fine once it's cleaned up eventually. Obviously, he's not playing that crap, but I don't believe him.
Tim gonna whip her into shape. Watch.
He is. Hopefully. If they stay together.
Yeah, facts.
Next up, we have Garrett meeting Taylor's friends. They come in, they're all warm and welcoming, and apparently they got Garrett a gift. They got him a fish figurine from South Africa, which I didn't like. And the reason I didn't like that is simply because you're welcoming the couple in. Why don't we have a couple's gift? Or why don't we have a group gift? Or something that the group can occupy while you're hanging out? Why is there a gift specifically for this man? It just felt a little weird. It felt a little bit like we're trying to appease this man, and I don't like that energy.
They don't know the man, so I don't think they could try to appease someone they never met before in their lives.
Exactly.
It was just a nice gesture.
Why are you getting something so specific to this man? Because you know he likes fish. Because
Taylor went and told him he likes fish.
Exactly.
Fish. It was just something nice. That's all.
It wasn't something nice.
Okay.
It was pre-planned, and I'm watching y'all. I'm watching all of y'all.
Okay.
Every last one of Taylor's friends.
She's watching y'all, so watch out. She might come to DC.
Now this. They start asking Garrett if he's sure about wanting to leave home, leaving all he knows. She says she's worried about him, not sure if this is something that he can handle, essentially. And Garrett just says, like, I'm crazy about this girl. I will go to the ends of the earth for this girl. I love her that much, and it doesn't matter who I'm about to leave, because I'm going wherever she's going. And the friends are obviously in love. They're enamored with the whole situation. They're like, wow, this is real love. We've never seen Taylor like this. She's all touchy-feely. She got the love goggles on. And it's really sweet. And they're all, like, getting along. They seem, like, really close already. Chummy. Like, he's part of the family already.
Yeah, and I think that's just the type of people they are. I feel like they're just really, really just, like, happy-go-lucky. Like, kind of how Taylor is. Taylor's just happy-go-lucky. So I think that's just their energy.
Sure.
That's why I feel like the gift meant nothing. But
sure.
I'll continue.
Anyway, we go back to Marissa and Ram. She's asking him how does he feel about her mom after having the meeting with her. And she's like, my mom need therapy. And he low-key agree with her. He's like, yeah, the prenup conversation was weird. I don't know what's wrong with that lady. Get her some help immediately.
Yeah, I agree. The mom, like I said before, the mom got no filter. Marissa need to put her on a leash. I feel like she just do and say too much.
Too much. For a fact. They start talking about when they want to have kids. And that leads into the sexual conversations where they're talking about not wearing a jacket. Marissa doesn't want to wear a jacket. Ram wants her to go on birth control. She doesn't want to go on birth control. And now we're here trying to figure out what's going to happen. Why are we having this conversation? Once again, we're too grown for this conversation at this point. And I just feel like y'all just need to figure it out. Y'all don't want kids. Cool. Put the jacket on. It's really that simple, Ram. You're not going to die.
I feel like, well, they have different timelines for kids. Like, I think he wanted kids in like 3-4 years. She wanted kids in like 2 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But
she's also like time.
Yeah.
She's on a crunch.
Well, yeah.
You don't want to have, well, she's already going to be technically a geriatric pregnancy. But,
just pull out, bro. Plain and simple. Like, that's all I can really say to that.
That's not a guarantee, though.
It's not a guarantee. But, Marissa's like, what happens, happens. And if you don't want to wrap up, then make sure you pull out game-ish like that, bro. It's that simple.
Insane.
Don't be pull out.
All right. We didn't need that visual representation. Thanks. Next, we have Hannah meeting Nick's parents. Hannah came in with gifts for her in-laws, which was really sweet. They were
gifts are sweet now? She want the in-laws?
She don't want the in-laws.
It's detailed-oriented gifts.
It's detail-oriented gifts. She came into it meeting his parents. His parents came before her.
Okay, continue.
Right.
Continue.
Right.
Continue.
Thank you. Exactly. If Garrett would have came in bringing gifts for the friends, it would have been a different story. The friends brought gifts for Garrett. But okay. Anyway, So she gets some detailed gifts. It was really sweet of her to do. They start complimenting her, telling her how beautiful she is. And Dad's like, you have really great skin. And I was very concerned when he said that because it just seemed very off-putting. Like, why are we specifically, directly, and deeply emphasizing her skin? I don't know. We've all seen Get Out. I'm going to leave that there. Hannah starts helping Nick's mom cook, and we find out that he's partially Cuban. Had no idea. Nick is outside talking with his dad. He starts talking about his relationship with his mom and how she basically helped him grow. She forced him to do what he needed to do. And now Nick is basically in the same situation where Hannah's pushing him to do what he needs to do and be a better man.
Yeah, I feel like behind every strong man is a strong woman, so I feel like his dad and him are aligning on that, where Nick feels like if he wants to get where he wants to be in life, Hannah is a good choice for him because she does push him. I just don't know if she's pushing him in the most healthiest ways. But if in the future, if they do get married and the results pan out, then it works. It works for them. It works for me.
All right. Hannah starts boasting about Nick to his mom, which was different to see because she hardly talks good about that man, but she seems to have a lot to say for his mom. The parents, obviously, they tell her, like, I really like you. I actually might like you more than I like my son. And yeah, they end off pretty well. It seems like she would make a great addition to their family.
Yeah, this was the best I've seen Hannah act. If she could keep this energy, I like this side of Hannah. This wasn't too monstery.
Screaming.
So if she could keep this up, she's more bearable for me to watch on my TV.
Next up, we're back to Ashley and Tyler. They're having a serious conversation, and apparently Tyler dropped a bomb on Ashley, and now she's questioning everything. She's like, our superpower was our communication, and now I don't even know if I could trust you. He says he doesn't want to lose her trust, but apparently he has kids. This whole entire time, they've been talking about kids, wanting kids, doing this and that with the kids. And he already got some. 3.
It's not even one. It's not specific. 2. He got a trio of kids. It's crazy.
He's never mentioned them to her, obviously, out of all those conversations. And he says this situation is basically, I signed up to be a sperm donor. I wanted to support my friends. They needed some kids. And I was just doing what I could do to help them. I have no connection to these kids. And I don't really consider them to be mine because I've signed over all of my rights. Like, I have nothing to do with this. And he's telling her, like, if you want receipts, I'll give them to you. But Ashley's just not sure about it.
Which she shouldn't.
She shouldn't be.
So any person that hides something like that, you got a lot to hide, bro. Tyler, I lost a lot of respect for you today, brother. I ain't gonna lie. For a dude that's so emotional and you so in tune and you so communicative, I don't know if that's a word, but you talk so much. That's something you should have said. And I get it. You didn't want to scare nobody away. Mm-hmm. But from the moment y'all...
is the best policy, though.
From the moment y'all met, because sometimes maybe you don't want to say it in the pods because you might lose your opportunity, but the moment y'all met, I got to tell you something. Mm-hmm. And either she going to accept it or she not, because she going to find out eventually. So I don't know what you're trying to do, bro.
I also feel like the fact that you're not technically involved with these kids, like you literally were just a sperm donor, even if it's somebody that you know. Mm-hmm. I don't understand the reason for hiding it necessarily.
I mean, word on the street, if you go on social media, is he's not a sperm donor. He's dead ass father. He dead ass be in their life. Like I seen pictures of them in like Christmas pajamas.
But it could just be a thing of like
he has a relationship with them.
Because that's an actual friend that he's like, I'm still a part of their life, but I'm not a part of their life like a dad. I'm a part of their life like an uncle, maybe.
Maybe the world may never. Well, we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out because social media knows how to dig up every bit of information. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for sure.
He's just really apologizing. He asked her to forgive him, give him another chance. He don't want that to be the end of their love story. And Ashley's just like, I don't know. I love you. I care for you. But I really don't know if I could trust you and where I want to go from here. So she's just She just got to think on it. And all he could do is, like, give her the space to do that.
Yeah, he's out here singing, "Baby, give me one more chance to show you that I love you." So,
yeah, and that ends off the episode. So, since we're done now and the weddings are coming up, what do you anticipate happening? Who do you feel like is going to walk down the aisle? And who do you feel like we're at the end of the road?
So my married couples are going to be, I think Garrett and Taylor are getting married. I think Nick and Hannah are getting married. I think Marissa and Ram are getting married. That leaves, of course, Stephen and Monica, they're not getting married. They're pretty much done. So Tyler and Ashley are done. Tim and Alex, I don't think they're getting married. I think they're going to have another fight. Yeah. How about you?
I agree with that, except I do believe Tyler and Ashley are going to get married.
Hope not, Ashley. I hope not. I hope not.
I feel like if the situation is legitimately what he's saying it is, and she gets the reassurance that she's looking for, she's going to go for it because she seems to be a very understanding person. And because their main thing is like communication, it's like, this is your one strike. It's a big strike, but it's your one strike. And we're going to work on doing things better. And because he hasn't shown her other signs of, you know, being disloyal or mistrustful, it's like, considering the situation, I could understand you were trying to do a good thing for a friend. We can move past this, but you can't lie to me about nothing else.
The fact that he didn't tell her and also just said stuff like he don't got... Even if you're just a sperm donor, you have kids on this planet. And the way he spoke about stuff was like he's never even nothing. And I
but
feel
that's
like that's
not necessarily true because people who drop off their semen
but that's one
at the bank.
That's one thing, but he knows them, so it's a little
different. It's not different. It's not different.
It's a little.
It's just simply that he has a relationship with the parents. But at the end of the day, he chose to give up his rights. He was making a donation, and that's just what it was. He's not a parent.
We got to see proof. I don't know, because we don't even know if he really...
We don't know. But that's why I'm saying, like, if it is a case where he legitimately is just a sperm donor, maybe she has a conversation with the parents and figures out the actual dynamic of the relationship.
Do you think all this is happening within right before the wedding?
If he wants her bad enough, he's going to do what he has to do.
See, Netflix shows us any of this?
I don't know. Hopefully. I want to see it all.
We ain't seeing that. I doubt it. I don't think they're getting married. She's going to go to her Nigerian pops.
No.
Her Nigerian pops is going to be like, no.
I guess. She make her own decisions. I don't think that's the case.
Ashley, I hope you don't make that decision.
No,
Tyler is not good for you.
I'm rooting for y'all. I'm praying that he is telling the truth about what he's saying. We get the proof, we get the evidence. And he's able to move forward in an honest manner.
The mother of the child has done said he's not a sperm donor, it's his kids. And they were doing fine and they signed up for the show and just cut everybody off.
I didn't see any of that. So you have more knowledge than me. Yeah. So I can't go off of that.
That's what I saw. But I don't know if it's true. I'm
going off of what I know.
She said, like, literally, they were one big happy family. He signed up for the show and he was like...
Interesting.
So if that's the facts, he's terrible.
Well, more will reveal itself.
Facts.
So that is all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And what else they got to do?
In the comments below, drop your thoughts on the episodes and everything we had to say, and which couples you think you're going to walk down the aisle and say, I do.
Let us know.
No spoilers. Stick to the episode. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, follow us on X at the Binge Box Pod, and we'll catch you in the next one. Happy binging.
Happy binging.